Introduction. My name is Renata. I was 24 years old when my life changed very quickly. My father became very sick. His health was not good, and he stayed in bed most of the time. One evening, when he was very weak, he asked me to come to his room. He looked at me with serious eyes and told me something that surprised me greatly. He said I must marry a young man named Cole. I was very shocked by his words. I could not understand why he wanted this. Cole was a poor boy. His family worked on our farm for many years. They were good people, but they were not from a rich family like mine. I did not know Cole well. I did not love him, and I did not want to marry a man I did not know or love. It felt like a bad dream. I looked at my father and waited for him to explain. My father saw the surprise and confusion on my face. He spoke in a quiet voice. He told me that Cole had saved his life once. It happened a long time ago, and I did not know about it. My father said that Cole was a brave young man. Now, my father was dying, and he wanted me to help Cole. He said this marriage was my way of saving Cole in return for what Cole did for him. It was like paying a debt. I felt trapped. My father was very sick, maybe dying. He was asking me to do something very difficult, something I did not want to do at all. Marrying a stranger because my father asked me to felt impossible. My heart felt heavy. I wanted to say no, to tell him I could not do this. But when I looked at his face, so weak and full of hope for this marriage, I could not speak the word no. It was his last wish, maybe the very last thing he would ever ask me to do. How could I refuse my dying father? I felt like I had no choice. I could not say no to his final order. 2. A cold wedding day. The day of the wedding was cold. It was a very small event. There was no big party, no music, and no happy sounds. It was quiet and silent. No one smiled. This was not a happy day for me. I wore my mother's old dress. It was white, but not new or special. Cole wore a suit. It was also old. It did not look good on him. We stood together, but we felt very far apart. Cole did not touch me. He stood a little distance away. He looked at the ground sometimes. He did not look happy either. He spoke only a few words to me. He said, "I will not hurt you." His voice was soft. I did not know what to think. Was he kind? Was he angry? Many people from the village came to watch. They stood and looked at us. I could feel their eyes on me. They talked quietly to each other. I knew what they were saying. They were talking about me. They were saying, "Look, the rich girl married the farmer boy." Their words felt like stones. I felt a deep shame. I felt angry because this was not my choice. I felt afraid of this new life. I was now the wife of a man I did not know. I did not love him. I did not choose him. This day was the start of my new life. It began with cold air, silent moments, and a heart full of fear and anger. It was a very cold wedding day. 3. My new home. The house was very small. It had only 2 rooms. One room was for sleeping. This room had the bed and the old drawer. The other room was for living and eating. It had a table and 2 chairs. There was not much furniture inside the house. The walls were dark, maybe from smoke or just old age. Not much sun came inside the small windows. It felt cold, even when the air outside was warm from the sun. This was Cole's house now, and this was my new home. That first night in the house was very difficult for me. I felt completely alone in the small, dark rooms. Cole did not come into the bed where I sat. He took some old blankets and put them on the wooden floor in the same room where the bed was. He slept there on the floor. I was in the bed, under the covers, but I could not sleep for a very long time. I felt tears on my face, falling onto the pillow. I cried quietly, trying to make no sound so he would not hear me. It was strange and sad to be in this new place, married to a man I did not know well at all. Every day after that first night was much the same. Cole woke up very early in the morning, before the sun was fully up. He went outside to the fields near the house. He worked hard there all day, from the early morning light until the sun went down in the evening. He was a strong man, used to hard work. While he was outside working, I stayed inside the small house. Sometimes I tried to clean a little or move things, but there was not much to do in the quiet rooms. When Cole came back in the evening, he was tired from his work. He ate his simple dinner, but he did not talk much while he ate. He was always very quiet. He never asked me to cook for him or to do anything else around the house. He never shouted at me or seemed angry. He was not a bad man in this way, but he was not happy either. I watched him, but I never saw a smile on his face. His face was always serious, sometimes looking a little sad. It was a quiet life together, and I felt like a quiet stranger living in his house. One afternoon, I was trying to put some things away in the small room where we slept. There was an old wooden drawer under the window. I opened it to look inside and make space. Under some old papers and pieces of cloth, I saw something small and flat. It was a photograph. I picked it up carefully. It was a picture of a girl. She was very beautiful. She had long, dark hair and a kind smile on her face. She looked very happy in the picture, standing in a field of flowers. I did not know this girl at all. Why did Cole have her photo? And why did he keep it hidden away in the bottom of the drawer? I held the picture in my hand and looked at her face for a long time. A strange, heavy feeling came into my heart when I saw her happy face. Who was this beautiful girl? Was she important to Cole? Was she someone he loved before he married me? These questions started to come into my mind, one after another. I put the photograph back carefully in the same place in the drawer, under the old papers. I closed the drawer quietly. I did not say anything to Cole about finding it, but I could not stop thinking about the girl in the picture. She was a secret part of Cole's quiet life, a secret that I did not understand. And finding her picture made me wonder many new things about the man I was now married to. 4. Village secrets. One day, a woman from the village came to visit me. She was a neighbor. We talked for a little while. She looked at me with a strange look. Then she asked, "So you do know?" I felt confused. "Know what?" I asked her. The neighbor smiled a little. It was not a kind smile. She said about Cole, his past, everyone in the village knows. My heart beat faster. I waited for her to speak more. Was this about the photograph I found? The beautiful girl in the picture? The neighbor told me the secret. She said Cole was in love before. He loved a girl very much. This girl was the daughter of his boss. She was from a family with more money, maybe like my family. But this girl left him. She went away. The neighbor said the girl broke Cole's heart. He was very sad after she left. He stopped smiling and laughing like before. When the neighbor told me this, I understood many things. I thought about the photograph. It must be a picture of this girl, the girl who left him. This was the secret Cole kept. Suddenly, I saw Cole in a new way. I started to watch him more carefully. When he worked in the fields, I looked at his face. I saw that he looked tired, but I also thought I saw something else. Maybe it was sadness. Maybe it was the pain the neighbor talked about. He never talked about his life before me. He never said the name of the girl he loved. He kept his past very quiet, but his eyes, I felt, sometimes showed his feelings. They looked empty sometimes, or like he was thinking of something far away. I felt strange. The village knew about Cole's broken heart, only I did not know. It felt like I was the last person to understand. The neighbor's words stayed in my mind. Was I just here because the other girl left? Was I just a wife for him because his true love was gone? I started to feel like I was not important to him, like I was just a replacement for the girl he could not forget. This thought made me very sad. I was his wife, but maybe his heart was still with someone else. It was a heavy secret to carry. My new life felt more lonely than before. The small house felt colder. I looked at Cole, and I wondered if he ever thought of her when he looked at me. It was a difficult thing to think about. 5. A secret letter. One morning, I decided to clean the old shed. It was near the house. Nobody used it much. It was full of old things and dust. I moved some old boxes and tools. I wanted to make it clean and tidy. While I was cleaning, I saw something on the floor. It was under an old wooden box. It was a piece of paper. It looked like an old letter. I picked it up. It was folded many times. I saw writing on the paper. It was Cole's handwriting. I felt a little surprised. Why was Cole's letter here? Was it for me? Maybe he wrote something to me and forgot to give it to me. I opened the letter slowly. My hands were a little shaky. I started to read the words. The letter was not for me. It was written to someone else. I saw a different name. It was a woman's name. I read more. Cole wrote about this woman. He said he still thought about her. He wrote words like, "I still dream of you." My heart started to beat fast. He was writing about his past love, the beautiful girl from the photograph I found. Then I read the part about our marriage. He wrote about me. He wrote, "But now I am married to someone else." I read the next sentence. He wrote, "I will not hurt her." This was what he told me on our wedding day. He kept his promise not to hurt me physically. But then I read the words that broke my heart. He wrote, "But I can never love her." My breath stopped. I felt very cold suddenly. The dusty shed felt even colder. He could never love me. He married me, but he cannot love me. He is still in love with the other woman. The neighbor was right. He was heartbroken, and he was still in love with her. I was just his wife because of my father. I was not the woman he wanted. I stood there in the shed, holding the letter. Tears came to my eyes. I felt so alone, more alone than ever before. I was married, but I had no husband who loved me. I felt like a stranger in my own home. I wanted to run away. I wanted to leave this house, this village, this life. I wanted to go far away from the man who could never love me, but I stopped. Where could I go? I had no money. My father was gone. My old home was now Cole's home too. I had nowhere to go. I felt trapped. The secret letter showed me the truth, a truth that hurt very much. I put the letter back where I found it. I finished cleaning the shed, but my heart felt heavy and broken. This was my life now, married to a man who loved another. 6. A night of fire. One night, something terrible happened. A fire started on our farm. It was late and dark. The fire grew fast. It was near the barn where the animals slept. The red and orange flames looked scary in the dark sky. We saw the smoke first, then the bright light of the fire. Cole saw the fire. He knew the animals were inside the barn. He did not wait. He ran towards the burning building. He was brave. He wanted to save the cows and horses. I felt fear, but I followed him. I had to help. We ran to the barn together. The air was hot. The smoke made it hard to see and breathe. We had to fight the fire. We worked side by side. We found buckets of water. We threw the water onto the flames. It was a hard job. The fire was strong. We did not talk much. We just worked together, trying to stop the fire from getting bigger and hurting the animals. While we fought the fire, Cole got hurt. The fire was very hot. He burned his arm. It looked painful. The fire was finally getting smaller, but his arm needed help. After the fire was mostly out, I helped him. His arm was red and hurt. I found clean water and a cloth. I carefully cleaned the burn wound on his arm. It was quiet now, only the sound of the dying fire. He looked at me while I cleaned his arm. It was different this time. His eyes looked at my face, not just past me. He looked at me with thanks. He spoke my name. He said, "Thank you, Renata." It was the first time he said my name like that. It was the first time he looked at me like I was a person who was there, helping him, important. I felt like he saw me for the first time. Not just his wife, not just a duty. He saw me. In that moment, after the fear and the fire, something small changed between us. 7. We talk about the past. After the fire, the house felt very quiet. It was a different quiet than before. My mind kept thinking about the letter I found. It was in my thoughts all the time. I knew I had to ask Cole about it. It was hard to find the right words. My heart felt heavy. I looked at him. He was sitting quietly, looking at the floor. He seemed tired. The fire was a difficult night for both of us. I took a deep breath. "Cole," I said softly. He looked up. His eyes were tired, but they were also calm. I felt a little stronger. I found a letter," I continued. "In the shed. It was for someone else. You wrote. You said you couldn't love me." My voice was very quiet when I said the last words. Cole did not speak for a moment. He just looked at me. Then he nodded slowly. "Yes," he said, "I wrote that letter. It is true." He started to talk about his past. His voice was low. He told me about a girl he loved a long time ago. He said he loved her very much. She was his whole world, but she left him. She went away and did not come back. This made him very, very sad. "She broke my heart," he said. After that, I didn't think I could ever love anyone again. I stopped believing in love. Then I asked the question that was in my mind for a long time. "Why did you marry me then?" I asked. He looked down again. "Your father asked me," he said. "He came to me when he was sick. He told me I saved his life once. He asked me to marry you and take care of you. He begged me." Cole looked at me again, his eyes sad. "I felt I owed him. I could not say no to your father's last wish. It was my duty. So I married you because I owed him, not for love." Hearing the truth was painful. My eyes started to fill with tears. Cole's eyes were also wet. We sat there looking at each other, and we cried together. It was the first time we were completely honest with each other. We shared our sadness and our pain. It felt strange, but also like something important was happening between us. After some time, the crying stopped. I looked at Cole's face. It looked different now, more open. I thought about our life, how it started. It was not happy. But maybe we could try to make it better. "Cole," I said, maybe we can start again." He looked at me, not understanding at first. I explained, not as husband and wife right now, but maybe we can try to be friends. Can we try to build something new? He looked at me for a long moment. The room was silent. Then he slowly nodded his head. A very small smile touched his face for a second. "Yes," he said softly. "Maybe it is time to try." It was a small agreement, just words, but it felt like the first step on a very long road. We agreed to try to be friends. It was a new beginning for us, built on honesty and shared sadness, not on duty or old pain. 8. Our new beginning. After that night, everything started to change between Cole and me. We began to talk more than we ever did before. We talked about simple things, about the day, about the farm work. Sometimes we even found a way to laugh together. It was a quiet laugh, but it was real. This feeling of talking and laughing was new for us, and it felt different in a good way. Cole started to spend time teaching me about the land. He showed me how to prepare the soil. He explained about the different plants and when to put seeds in the ground. He taught me how to care for the vegetables and the fruit trees. He was patient, and I wanted to learn. I also started to help him with the jobs on the farm. I helped to clear the fields. I helped with the animals. We worked next to each other. The work was hard for my hands, but working with him felt easier than being alone. He also began to do small things that showed kindness. Every morning when I woke up, there was a cup of hot tea waiting for me on the small table. He didn't say anything about it, but he did it every day. These small acts were important. They made me feel seen and cared for in a way I hadn't felt before. One afternoon, Cole came into the house after being outside. He had something folded in his hand. He held it out to me. It was a scarf, a beautiful red color. It felt soft when I took it. "It's for you," he said, his voice low. I looked at the scarf, then I looked at him. I smiled, a true smile this time. This was the first gift from him. I felt a warm feeling spread inside me. I lifted my hand and gently touched his hand for just a moment. In that quiet moment, holding the red scarf, I understood something clearly. Our story, our marriage, did not begin with love. It began because my father needed Cole, and I needed to help my father. It began with duty and sadness and secrets hidden away. It started when we were strangers, afraid of each other and the future. But now, after facing the fire together, and after sharing the truth about our pasts, things were changing. We were slowly building something new. We were learning to be friends first. We were finding a way to share our lives, not just live in the same house. This story, which did not start with love, was slowly turning into something else. Something quiet, but something real and strong. Maybe, just maybe, this was the start of our new beginning together. We had a long road in front of us, but we were taking the first steps side by side. There was a small hope in my heart now.